Hey everyone, this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com, and I'm here to show you our new options that you can purchase when purchasing our pole arm transducer mounts. I want to show you our first revision or first model of the pole arm transducer mount that we released. It's right here. This is our standard version right here. There's a 32-inch long pole right here, fully rotatable, 360 degrees, just like you see here. And it's also tiltable to all sorts of different angles, just with the releasing of that pin there, as you can see. And it just locks in nice. And you can also pull the pole up and down just by loosening this off. If you tighten it up reasonably firmly, you can still rotate the pole without losing the depth. You just keep it kind of in the same spot and you can rotate the pole and it stays at the same depth. If you tighten it up even more, then it's going to get harder and harder to rotate. But nevertheless, it should be able to still rotate to some extent, but you're not going to be able to push it. If the camera backs off a bit, you're not going to be able to push this pole up and down. Okay, so that is our standard pole mount right there, and I'll show you how easy it is to put your transducer on it. This is universal, so you can put all sorts of transducers on from all the major manufacturers. You can put all sorts of different transducers. This is a Humminbird Helix transducer, Helix side image or down imaging transducers. So you can just see right there. Let's just rotate the pole so you guys can see once again. You take the transducer, you slip it over the retention stud or nut or screw, I should say, and then you just slide over what we call our fork washer here, and you just take your wing nut and you tighten this up, oops, to where you want that to be. So you've got your transducer fixed on there. And also with this set, we include a longer screw. In the past, there have been other types of transducers, such as this Garmin style transducer that has a split in it. So these spacers would actually, you could add them up and subtract them as you need it, if depending on what transducer you have, to bridge the gap there and create structural strength. And that ultimately would also fit right here. In fact, let's just do that quickly for all you folks so you can see what I mean. There is no, in the latest and greatest groups of fish finders from Humminbird, Lowrance, and Garmin, and Dragonfly Raymarine series, they're not actually producing the Dragonfly Raymarine series anymore. I've heard this year they're not doing them. But if you take this guy off, you can take this longer setup, and this will come in the product when you get it. So our stuff is truly universal. You just put this guy, I'll just rotate this, you can see how it fits in. The hex head gets stuck in this groove here, and you can just take your Garmin transducer if you have one of these older ones. And we may actually remove these spacers because they're no longer used for the new ones. We might remove them and put them on our website for sale separately. So you just take your transducer here and slide it on with the spacers in place, just like so. So there you go, there's that style of transducer done and on the mount. So a lot of manufacturers that did anything like this didn't have a solution for this Garmin style of mount. Now I noticed Garmin's changed to a one post, I call this a single post mounting position. There's just one kind of area, like area to clamp to. This is sort of like two, if you will. There's two holes versus just the one. So we've got this is the standard transducer mount kit. Pole arm. It's 32 inches long, as you'll see on the website description as well, and I'll just show you that. You can see right here, well, right there, it's 32 inches long up to the very top, but you know, your transducer's lower, so we're just calling it 32 inches it's actually to the bottom of the transducer. This particular transducer is 33. So it's going to vary slightly depending on which transducer you have. Now, to speak towards our options, we have this longer pole now available, and you can see this is 48 inches long, this particular pole, okay? And you can see it's about 48 inches. It's actually slightly over, it looks like, with everything all said and done. Okay? So that is an option that you can purchase for this product offering. www.fishfindermounts.com. Shop on the top left corner. Transducer mounts is the category you look at to get just the transducer mounting version of these products. The next option I'm going to talk about is the handle. So this handle, we just got them in, so they're available now, and you can, let's just clamp this on there a little tighter, and you can adjust the clamp up and down on the pole to wherever you want it to be. And we're going to have it up here, let's say, and it's 8 inches long, this handle, and it's at a 15-degree angle here. So, you know, we've tried to be ergonomic with it to whatever level. And of course, you can raise and lower the pole as you desire. And again, still, you know, tilt it. I showed that in the very first, to whatever degree you want it to go to. So 360-degree rotate. Now, the big thing where this comes into play, is if you have the Garmin Panoptix or Panoptix Livescope or Livescope transducer. We actually have the same product, but in the Garmin, like that's called the Garmin Livescope pole arm transducer mount, I believe it's called on our website. And it actually has this at its base. It's a solid piece of machined aluminum again. And it's 1.25 inches in diameter here, so that you can clamp their pole version of they have the hardware that'll clamp right onto here, and that will ultimately be at the bottom here of this. You know, if you had the 32-inch version, it would be here. Maybe you have a smaller watercraft, it doesn't need to go that far to the water, so you don't need such a long pole. But even ice fishing, you could use this in an ice fishing application. If you have really thick ice, maybe you want a longer pole. But if you have a deck boat or a deep V-hull boat, this would be, for the Garmin Livescope, it would be plugged in the place of this. This wouldn't be here, this would be here. And you would have this 48-inch long pole, as you can see here, and ultimately you would be using your handle to direct this around. A lot of people have insisted they want handles. I tried to say when we first released the product that our logo itself can show you what direction the transducer is pointing, and you can just simply twist it with your hand. But guys want it to be more ergonomic. They might be sitting on the deck of their boat. They might be, whatever it is, they've wanted that, the handle. People have really consistently requested a handle. So we've got this nice 8-inch fully aluminum machined handle. It's all nicely machined, solid thick aluminum, super high quality. And you can take it now, and you'll know by the handle, obviously, direction, that if your transducer element is facing that way, you know, juxtaposed to the handle itself, you know that the transducer is shooting that way. So simply put, you have a handle now. So these are all options. And the final option I just want to cover too, that I haven't showed in other videos, is our extended gunnel clamp here, right here. So this actual gunnel clamp jaw opening, if you take these nice machined scuff guards, and these scuff guards, I'll just take this apart, are actually machined completely smooth. So it won't mark up your boat is the idea. Both sides are completely smooth. And they have a set screw on them. And this wrench will come, this Allen key wrench will come with it. And you can remove these jaws on and off when you're trying to place it over something that's got a lip to it. And you can put them back on with obviously the Allen key wrench here that fits right inside this little set screw here. So these are all aluminum machined as well. This space here, we cut the clamp and we put this nice aluminum machined spacer in here. So it gives you that extra 1.5 inches of gap. So without these jaw scuff guards on there, this is giving you a spread in between here of 3.5 inches right here, right from the interior of the jaw here and this interior of the jaw here, the inside ID or the inside dimension will give you 3.5 inches here. And this standard one over here, if the camera looks here, will only open up 2 inches. So you can see right here the difference in gap. I'll show you the process just so you can see. I know that a lot of people will understand this, but because not everybody is super mechanically inclined, I tend to go into a much greater detail so that I can help those that don't understand easily. You just take this little wrench and you can loosen this guy off and ultimately slip the jaw guard off, just like you see there. And so, like I say, if you take both these guards off, both these extended jaw guards off, I'm calling them a guard because they're flat and they won't mark your boat because they're machined flat, you're going to get 3.5 inches of reach. And you can see that by looking at this here, the tape measure. Actually, it's going to be slightly over 3.5, actually. Almost 3 3/4 there. We're calling it 3.5 to be safe, I suppose. Yeah, 3.5, just a little over 3.5. So put that guy back on, and you can see again the process. You slip it through the groove. Let's take this guy. Let's do it this way. There we go, slipped it on. And we just take your little set screw and we tighten that back on. Now you're probably going to want to have it when you slip it onto the underside of the boat, you know, the gunwale edge or something. Keep it down low, probably like this, so it's exposed, so you can get back at the, you know, you don't want to clamp it on like this maybe, because now you can't get the wrench to it to put this back on. The reason why we've done it this way, if the camera backs away and looks at me, the reason why we've done it this way is we've had guys, with the old way we're doing it, lose their jaw guards, and so we're trying to make it so that we're just trying to improve our products all the time. We're always cranking out the best quality that you can possibly get in the way of these fish finder mounts. So whenever we hear our customers, we try to hear them loud and clear, and respond by just improving and producing even better products. So that is all of the options you could possibly get. If you got the Garmin Panoptics, a lot of people have requested a longer pole. This is being 48 inches long. You know, if you need the extended gunnel clamp because you have to get over a wider lip, the 18-foot aluminums and above, they may have wider lips. Sometimes, like on the gunwale edge, you might be on a deck boat that you want to clamp. Yeah, and by the way, on a deck boat, you might be clamping this guy. If you take this guy here and loosen this off, you might be clamping it like so onto the deck boat. Here, we'll do it on the table here so people can understand what I'm saying there. You're going to take this guy and clamp it on like so onto the edge of a deck potentially. So a horizontal ledge versus a vertical rising, you know, gunwale edge of a boat. This is going to be. There we go. So there you go. Now you've got it on the side of a boat, potentially like a deck boat, and it's straight up and down. You can take your handle again, and if it's a Panoptics application or a Garmin Livescope application, here you have your handle, and you can turn it around to whatever degree that you want it to be at. Of course, I haven't cranked it right down because I don't want to be squishing my table. It's just made out of wood and everything. So there you go. This is the right over here on this side. This is the standard version that we first released, and then we've added the handle. We've added the 48-inch long pole, and we've added also the option for the extended gunnel clamp. This product, by the way, guys, just so you're not mixed up or confused, it's the same exact thing. It can do the same thing. It can also clamp right to the edge as well. So if you wanted this on the side of a boat for whatever reason, you couldn't find a good mounting point off of the stern of the boat or the transom of the boat, well, you know what, there you go. You got your, you can mount that like that as well. And when you're coming out of the water, the great thing too, like if you have this on a deck or something and you just want to raise this guy up so you avoid getting it caught in anything or hitting things and stuff, you can just pull it up, right? Just loosen that guy off and lock it in when it's clamped in a vertical position like you see here. Now if you're on a boat and you have it mounted on the gunwale edge or the transom edge of the boat, let's just adjust this guy and say it's here, put it back here again. Be careful about these scuff guards, guys. They can slide off on you if you're not careful, and you could lose them in the water, so just try to watch out for that. You can also put some kind of like spacing material in there to keep them a little tighter. So if you have your mount clamped to the gunnel or transom edge of your boat and you want to quickly get it up out of the water, you're coming into the dock, you're going to beach your boat and you just don't want your transducer bumping into anything, scraping or getting broken or whatever, you have a couple of different options when you're in that situation. You can take this tri-knob, if the camera comes up and over, you can take your tri-knob and you can just pull the mount up. Now the camera can back off. Or what you can do is we can take this pin and you can just lock it in up out of the water if the camera backs off. So you can lock it in out of the water just like that, really nice and quick. Just like so. So we'll just drop it back down. The pin locks in nicely. And then we can take it. The camera's looking, maybe the camera can get close at the pin here for a sec. You just pull the pin and it locks back in. You can pull it again and then this is the next detent. And then of course if you're just trying to get it out of the water quickly, just pull it right like that. If the camera backs off, you can see it's at it's a pretty acute angle there, up out of the water. When you're ready to go and you're back in the water, of course you just pull the pin and back she snaps in. So just simple like that. Everything made out of high grade, quality, machined, fabricated aluminum, just fantastic. It's built to last your fishing life. We are making all fish finders portable. This is Wade from fishfindermounts.com. And the last thing, guys, that I should show you is that this guy could actually mount on here. And we do have versions of this product where you have a battery inside of here. There's a battery inside of here that can run your fish finder and the whole set. So this is one complete mounting solution right here as you see it. And I'll show you our non-powered. That's our powered version. So you can see there's a couple holes here on the bottom, and they made up with these holes. So there's screws that run through the bottom of the battery box and they come out into these holes, so that bonds everything together nice and strong. So you got a good little mounting solution here. And of course, if the camera comes around back here quickly, you know, you can rotate this to whatever position you want and then just lock it in. So if this was on the transom of your boat, this is probably how you'd have it if you wanted it that way. Because you'd have the screen facing you, you're sitting inside the boat over here. You'd have the screen, if the camera backs away, you'd have the screen here and you'd be looking at your screen there. You could always take this guy off and actually mount it somewhere else. We have quick release bases that actually made up to the product just like you see here. So if you ordered this set, you could also order this. You can get these quick release bases under our accessories webpage, and that could be affixed right onto the clamp. You could also buy a separate clamp and have your control head mounted separately. So we have a whole pile of different options for all of the customers out there. And the great thing with this quick release base here, as you can see, it just slides into this groove here. the camera looks from this angle over, you can just slide right in. It mates with the ledge there, and then you just pull this pin, and now you've got your control head mounted right onto the whole entire mount here. And of course we've got cable tie strap holes here and everything, so you can just nicely mount up all your cabling to the side of the battery box. We include the cable ties with the products depending on which version you get, even with the pole clamp, even with the transducer mount. Say you want to kind of like tie your cord to the pole, you can do that with it. We're going to have some cable ties in the package for you guys. So again, there you go. Of course, when you're in this configuration here with everything together, you can't tilt this guy up this way anymore. But what I wanted to show you guys, the camera comes back this side, what you could do if you bought it like this is our 10 amp hour version, by the way, 10AH 7.5 pole mount kit. This, if you got all this, you got the and you got the quick release base. What you could do is you can actually mount this quick release base anywhere. You could mount this somewhere else in your boat if you want. If you got another clamp, you could clamp it somewhere else on your gunwale edge of your boat, you know, separately from your transducer mount. Maybe you want the control screen on the side of the boat, on the side edge of your gunwale edge of your boat, and you want this on the transom edge, at the transom of the boat. So we have all these different options on our web shop, and you can call us at 1-855-784-3474 toll free. We're glad to help you by phone as well. But we have a mount selector link too that helps you shop our web store there. It's right next to the shop link. There's a mount selector. It tells you about how to match your fish finder. Different screens, you're going to want bigger batteries. We have bigger and smaller mounts with bigger and smaller batteries in them depending on which fish finder you have. You might, if you're just a day tripping guy where you go out from your house, you fish for the day, come home, you really only need enough battery power and size to last you that whole good day. And then when you get home, you put it back on charge, so on and so forth. So when the Garmin Panoptics, what you would do, we haven't set it up with the options to, we don't have any models where the control screen is included in the mount right at this point, but you could easily do that. We have a mix and match. We have a mix and match link on our website, fishfindermounts.com, again, under shop. So mix and match, and I just want to show you guys. The same thing applies. What I just showed you there also applies here. It's got the same mounting holes all set up there, okay? So again, your quick release base, as the camera comes up and over, you can see that, you know, you have to get with the Garmin Livescope, what I understand, these screws are too long for this particular set, but the holes all match up, and you can just mount onto this guy the way it is here as you see it. But what you could do, like, we also have non-powered stuff. So this guy here will give you a mounting solution as well. So you can get this, if the camera backs away for a sec, you can get this, let's just mount it, we'll mount this guy right here, okay? Now this could also be mounted onto the deck of a boat. You can have this plate set and just mount it somewhere on the deck of your boat, and that'll give you rotational capability right there, built right in. So you could screw this down, like just get some self-tapping screws. We also supply them. You can ask for them, request them. Usually they're available upon request. You can screw this guy right down onto your deck, and then you have a rotational mount right there, built right in, and it's universal. You can see all the mounting holes for all the different fish finders there. So if we take this guy, we can mount it right here. And this would be our non-powered configuration. So this one down here I was showing you has a battery built in. Just like this one here. This is our 5 amp hour. It's a little smaller. It's got a smaller battery in it. It'll run anything from a 4 to 5 inch screen. This guy here. This guy here is non-powered. So in this case, of course, what I mean by non-powered is you are supplying your own battery potentially. Maybe you have a trolling motor and you want to just get power for your fish finder right from the trolling motor. So here we go. We've got this 4.5 by 4.5 inch mounting plate. We call it our 4 point, that's why we call it our 4.5 non-powered kit. You know, a lot of times we'll call it depending on what configuration. But you can also get, for the larger fish finders, like you can see here, this is a 7-inch. This is a 7.5-inch plate. So you can also get this little mounting plate set on our mix and match the camera on our website, fishfindermounts.com, under shop. You look for the mix and match category. You can get this plate set I'm showing you. You can purchase it separately, and then you could add it on to the Garmin Panoptix. And when you're doing the Garmin Livescope setup here, when you get the Livescope product, you're probably going to get at least a 7-inch screen, which this Garmin represents. This is a 7-inch Garmin Striker, but it's, you know, not much far removed from the Echo Map. It's going to be 7 inches, just like you see here, about the same physical size exactly. Let's just put the control head right on here, come to think of it. So there it is. There's the plate set. Remember I showed you the first one was the 4.5. That's for smaller fish finders, like if you had a Lowrance hook 2, 4, or 5. It's fitting on there nicely, you guys can see, right? The hole patterns, there will be some holes that line up on our plate set. You can see right there, nicely. So this is the hook 2, 4, but the hook 2, 5 has the exact same mounting post. So this is the actual one you want for that, is the 4.5. Anything that has a mounting post, singular mounting post, but when it comes to mounting a gimbal bracket, like you see here, okay, then you're going to want the 7.5 plate. It's wide and narrow, right? So I'll show you what that looks like on here. Just take this guy and put it right. Just make sure that it's on there, because we already got one. Just take this guy and put our T-knob on there. So this is the 7.5 non-powered pole mount kit. If the camera comes further away a little bit, you can see that rotates mostly all the way around. Yeah, you're going to hit the pole when you get bigger screens and stuff, but you're still getting nearly 360, probably 300 degrees of rotational capability here anyways. And you could, like, you know, depending on how you put your screen, you can still tilt this up as well nicely out of the water quickly. So that's the non-powered version, meaning you may have your Minn Kota motor battery, trolling motor battery, and you're using that to run your fish finder all the while mounting it on this non-powered bracket system, mounting system for, you know, whatever fish finder you choose to go. You can go with very large screens right off of this. All of our stuff is solid as you wouldn't believe. This here, you know, this plate alone is extraordinarily thick, very, very thick. You can drill your own holes if you need them. Let's say you have a much larger fish finder, maybe you don't have the right holes in it for your fish finder you bought. We can't have every, like, there may be new fish finders coming out we don't have the hole pattern for already. You can just go ahead and drill those holes in and use your own hardware, whatever. Use our hardware. We include hardware, you know, like the screws for these holes and stuff. So you could use our screws too. It's up to you. And there you go. We've completely provided you with everything you need. You don't have to worry about or think. All you have to do is ultimately, and there will be assembly instructions with it, and you can call us. We're here to support you, and we have, if the camera backs off, and we have over 200 videos on YouTube. So this is Wade from fishfindermounts.com. Give us a shout. Check our website out, www.fishfindermounts.com. And I'm Wade. Thanks for watching, everyone.